And now we're going to talk about how to compose our shots. Compose means to create a picture that's interesting to look at or is more beautiful. So we can just take a regular shot, for example, like just a quick selfie. So by taking a few quick shots, we're looking to capture a moment, but if we want to really turn that moment into something that feels like art, something that we intentionally captured on purpose, we want to have a little bit more control over how that looks. So to do that, we're going to be changing something in our settings, and we're going to be creating, or using rather, the rule of thirds to help us compose or create more interesting looking pictures. So on your iPad, press the home button, and you're looking for the settings icon. I tap where it says settings. From here, we want to scroll up, and we're looking for where it says photos and camera. We want to tap on photos and camera, and in the middle area it says camera, and there's a grid. You want to tap on that grid to turn the grid on. So now I can close settings, come back here to camera, and you'll notice instantly that our camera now has a grid overlay. Right, so now that we have our grid lines on our camera, you can see them back in the lab, and I needed a subject to take a picture of, and I'm using Legos because I couldn't find somebody else who was more willing. So here is my subject. Using those grid lines, I want to line that up to tell the story. If I take a picture with my Lego person just in the middle, it gives me some options because it's centered, but it doesn't look as interesting as if I use the grid lines to tell that story. So I'm using the lower left grid line, and because I want to use my feet to zoom in, I want to make sure that subject is as close as possible, and by putting that grid line on my subject's face, I'm able to see or compose a photo that looks more interesting. I also can compose a photo by putting the subject in the upper corner. Although given how the telescope is looking, it might be better to have it facing, Lego down! Facing the other direction, like this. So part of this composing a shot means taking the picture multiple times to try and get it right. Once I have a picture that I think I like, so for example, I like having my Lego person there, I want to tap on the spot that I want my camera to focus. So the iPad, once I tap on it, will focus in that area, and you can see there's a yellow box around that intersection of those gray lines, those guidelines, and when I take my picture, it helps capture what's going on. When I look at the pictures, I have this one, which is using the rule of thirds on the right-hand side. This one, which I don't like as much because I'm missing more of the subject's body, and this one, which puts the Legos in the middle. Now, by putting the subject to the right, I'm able to see a better shot, and I'm able to tell more of the story. And I'm also able to focus the story on my subject. So in this case, on my Lego person, we can see their face. So now we're looking at this question in our Nearpod, and it says, enable the grid for your camera, check, to practice taking a photo using the rule of thirds. Draw on your picture where the grid would go and circle your focus. So we're going to tap in the bottom where it has a small picture icon. We're going to tap to insert. I'm going to go to camera roll, and we're pulling in the moments. So I'm going to choose the one I like best, which is this one right here.
I'm not sure.
We'll tap here to get rid of that instructions. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. If I use one finger, I can kind of move it around. My goal is to have it take up almost all of the screen. Perfect, there it is. Now I'm going to use the pencil tool to sketch on where the rule of thirds would have gone. So there's like one line, two lines, pardon me, 3, 4. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I'm looking to see that you understand where the grid lines were when you took the photo, and then circle the focus. In this case, the focus is on my Lego figure's face. Press send.